Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Wednesday, February 5th. It is the third day of media festivities here in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. We'll be talking to a couple more Philadelphia Eagles players today. Missed the Chiefs. They were early this morning, but we'll get to them, I think, tomorrow. And also, there is an NFL International press conference this afternoon that I'll be at, waiting on a potential announcement for the Steelers game in Ireland this year. Not sure that I don't think it's going to be at this press conference, but might be today, might be this week. Don't know that we're going to have an opponent yet, but it seems like the Packers, Vikings, and Bills are the three possible candidates. So we'll be on the lookout for that. But first, I want to talk about the quarterbacks. Well, it's always a good standby. But got a good question here from yesterday's Morning Rush from Ivan Lara. Ivan says, "Hey, Alan, is there any date when we are going to know regarding exit interviews about which players are going to likely be free agents and which are likely to return?" So exit interviews are done. Those happen the first week after the season ends. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe occasionally some guys spill into the next week if they're crunched for time and they know it's guys that still live in Pittsburgh. But a lot of the team is not in Pittsburgh anymore. They're dispersed back to wherever they live, wherever they're from. And so the exit interviews are done. And the exit interviews are not really where you learn about who's going to be a free agent and who's not. That's a front office thing. Most of the exit interviews are to do with the coaching staff. Like, hey, here's how we might want to use you next season, or here's what we think about this year. What did you think about this year? It's more of a information sharing kind of session and things like that. I'm sure that Omar Khan and his front office staff have reached out to most, if not all, of the Steelers' pending free agents to at least just touch base and see where they are, what they're thinking in terms of a contract, what they might need to come back to Pittsburgh, that kind of thing. And so that process could happen at any time. Like any moment, we could get a notification and the Steelers could have signed Justin Fields or signed Russell Wilson or any of their other pending free agents. Anytime between now and the start of the free agent contact period, which I believe is like March 8th or March 10th, something like that, only the Steelers can negotiate a deal with these teams, with these players. So they have 24 players that are set to become free agents. The guys that are exclusive rights and restricted free agents, they will have to tender a contract to. That's usually for the Steelers the first order of business, and we haven't gotten there yet, but I'm sure it will. That's Jeremiah Moon, Ryan McCollum, and Jalen Warren. Once they get that out of the way, they can start to re-sign these guys that are pending unrestricted free agents, and there's nothing to wait for. I mean, I looked up last year, like the Ravens re-signed Nelson Aguilar in that situation on February 19th. And that was just the one I could think of that I remembered happening last year. But there's a lot of these that happen every year where a team and a pending free agent decide, hey, we're going to make this move now. Now, obviously, both the player and the team have to be on board with this, and the players have a significant incentive to get to free agency, to get to the open market and see what is out there. So, I mean, it would not surprise me if you asked Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, hey, when would you like to sign? It would not surprise me at all if their answer would be not until after the opening of the free agent window. I'm sure if you ask the Steelers when they would like these guys to sign, they would say as soon as possible. They don't want these guys to get to free agency and be able to shop around and see what the price is on the open market and maybe get away. And so the way I generally see these things is if the signing is not contentious at all, like both sides just really understand what they're getting into and they agree on a price, these can happen pretty early. Like someone like Ben Skoranek, for example, like 1 year, 1.5 million, sign him, done, everybody's happy, cool, he's back. Like something like that. I think you could see that happen very, very quickly. I think quarterbacks are going to be a little bit more contentious, and I would say that it's probably more likely that free agent window coming up as like a deadline for the Steelers will be a sort of negotiating point, right? Where the teams are going to know the Steelers aren't going to want him to get to free agency. So their best deal, the best deal they're going to get is going to come when that becomes a real threat that the Steelers have to act to prevent from happening. So it's definitely possible that we could get all the way till March. In fact, it's possible that the Steelers could let these guys go into free agency before they make a decision. It's possible. I don't think it's very likely, but it's possible. So could be a while before we get any firm news about what the Steelers are doing at quarterback for the 2024 season. I have said before here on the show and in general, believe that I think Justin Fields is their preference at this point, but that doesn't mean anything if Justin Fields doesn't want to come back or if they and Justin Fields can't agree on a contract amount, and that is the crux of the negotiating process. A little short show today, but that's good. I got lots to do, so we can get moving. Thanks, Ivan, for the great question. Of course, if you guys ever have a question for a morning rush topic or just afternoon drive, we take lots of questions there as well. Leave them here on the YouTube channel. Hit us up on Twitter, whatever you want to do. Also, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube platform. Really trying to get to 15,000 before this trip wraps up, and we're so close. So I really appreciate all of you that have done that. And make sure you go to SteelersNow.com. Check out all the written work, good stuff coming out all this week. So check it out. That's all I got for now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy.